Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a stack of sources all about the island of Cyprus. Think of it as a Mediterranean tapestry. We're exploring threads of family fun, ancient history, stunning nature, charming villages, and, well, amazing food.
Right.
Your sources provide the map, and our mission is basically to pull out the golden threads, giving you a shortcut to understanding what makes this island so, compelling. Let's unpack this.
Sounds good.
Right away, our sources paint a picture of a wildly popular destination. Millions visit Cyprus each year.
Yeah, definitely.
Drawn by the sunshine, beaches, famously friendly locals. But what's fascinating, based on what you've shared, is how much more there seems to be than just the obvious stuff.
Absolutely. It feels like an island layered with experiences. And what's interesting is how these sources reflect that they give us glimpses into totally different aspects. We're not just talking postcards of beaches here. We're looking at how you can genuinely explore, from thrilling water parks to discovering history that predates most civilizations we typically think of.
Okay, speaking of thrills, if you're heading to Cyprus with family, the sources go way beyond just building sandcastles, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
What jumps out for keeping everyone entertained?
Well, prepare for some serious splashing. Water parks are a big deal. Fizuri Water Mania is even highlighted as one of Europe's best, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
But it's not just about slides. Animal encounters are popular, like the Golden Donkeys Farm, which actually tells the story of the island's history through these animals.
Donkeys. That's different.
It is. Or the Camel Park, where you can ride camels and swim in a pool. Bit random, but fun.
Right.
And for something totally different, a pirate boat trip. That sounds like pure fun.
A pirate boat and camel rides, that's definitely not your standard beach fare. But you mentioned history that goes way, way back. How far back are we talking?
If we connect this to that bigger picture, the layers, the history here is truly ancient. We're talking sites like Nicosia from 7,000 BC.
7,000 BC. Seriously?
Seriously. That's incredibly early human settlement in the Mediterranean. It shows people were drawn to this island millennia ago.
Wow. That really puts things into perspective. So you have prehistoric life, and then centuries just build upon that.
Exactly. You can physically see it in the ruins. Korion has this amazing ancient theater overlooking the sea, and Roman villas nearby with these intricate floor mosaics. The House of Eustolius is a great example mentioned.
Okay.
Paphos, an ancient capital, also famous for its mosaics depicting mythology, like the House of Dionysos. You're literally walking on history there.
And it keeps layering through later periods, too, so it's not just ancient.
Yes, absolutely. Right up through the medieval and Ottoman times. Colossi Castle stands as a reminder of the Knights Hospitaller, a crusader presence.
Right, the Knights.
Paphos Castle, originally Byzantine, was rebuilt by the Ottomans later on. And Byzantine churches like Agios Lazaros are built over sites tied to early Christianity. It's this incredible sort of palimpsest of different eras all visible.
So you could spend days just peeling back those historical layers. What about escaping all that history and getting into nature?
Cyprus is surprisingly diverse geographically for its size. The sources highlight beautiful natural parks vital for biodiversity. They're home to unique species like the Cyprus mouflon, a kind of wild sheep.
Oh, okay.
The Akamas Peninsula is a major one, perfect for hiking, exploring gorges like Avakas, or finding the famous Blue Lagoon. The water's supposed to be incredibly clear.
Blue Lagoon sounds amazing. I've seen pictures.
It really does look it. And then you have Cape Greco for sea caves and cliffs, the cooler air and mountain villages of the Troodos range.
Oh, mountains, too.
Yep, big mountains.
Yeah.
And the Larnaca Salt Lake, which becomes this haven for flamingos in winter.
Flamingos, okay.
The tip here seems to be that spring and autumn are ideal seasons for visiting these parks. And, well, a car is often essential to explore freely. Get away from the main roads.
Getting off the beaten path feels key here. What about those authentic villages the sources mentioned? Where do you find that sort of local heart?
That's a great question. The mountain villages seem to be the answer. They offer stone houses, beautiful views, a slower pace of life. Places like Lefkara are known for traditional craftwork, like lace. Omotos has this stunning cobblestone square and an ancient monastery. Koilani is apparently nestled right in a wine region.
Wine region, nice.
Yeah, wineries nearby. These villages are pockets of traditional Cypriot life.
And I bet that village life connects directly to the food scene, which one of the guides calls out as distinct, not just Greek.
Right. What's fascinating here is how Cypriot food is its own thing, different from Greek, often more rustic, reflecting centuries of influences, Arab, Turkish, Greek, Venetian. It's a real melting pot.
Interesting.
Social life revolves around sharing food, particularly through meze. You heard of meze?
I think so. Lots of small dishes.
Exactly, like an incredible spread of maybe 20 or more small plates. It just keeps coming.
Okay, must-try list. What should people look for?
Absolutely, you have to try halloumi. You know, the squeaky cheese? It's actually PDO registered, meaning proper halloumi can only be made a certain way in Cyprus.
Ah, okay, the real deal.
The real deal. Kleftiko, slow-cooked lamb that's just meltingly tender. Local specialties like sheftalia sausages, kind of like little minced pork parcels.
Sounds good.
For drinks, the brandy sour is apparently the unexpected national cocktail.
Brandy sour. Never heard of it.
Me neither. And Cyprus has its own wines from local grapes, plus Commandaria. That's possibly the world's oldest named wine, still produced a sweet dessert wine.
Wow.
The key takeaway seems to be seek out authentic spots, especially in villages or old town areas, away from the main tourist drag. That's where the good stuff is.
Makes sense. Follow the locals. Finally, what about the capital, Nicosia? It sounds unique.
It really is. Nicosia is unique because it's Europe's last divided capital, split between north and south.
Still divided.
Still divided. It's a blend of the ancient and the modern. You can walk along the impressive Venetian walls, see the Selime Mosque, which was originally a huge Gothic cathedral.
A mosque in a cathedral.
Yeah, repurposed. Explore the restored old quarter of Lake Gaetonia, or visit the Buyuk Khan, a historic Ottoman caravanserai, basically an old inn now full of shops and cafes.
Cool.
It's a bustling cultural hub, a great base for exploring, and it truly shows those layers of history kind of colliding right there in one city.
Wow, that was a pretty dense deep dive. From speeding down water slides and exploring prehistoric ruins to hiking stunning coastlines and savoring unique history-infused food, Cyprus truly is a tapestry of experiences.
It really seems to be.
What's remarkable is how all these different worlds, the ancient, the natural, the local, the modern, coexist and blend on one relatively small island. Makes you just wonder, doesn't it? If you could only experience one of these layers, just the history, just the nature, or maybe just the food, which one do you think would tell you the most about the true spirit of Cyprus? Something to think about.